Hi there, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Well, this is your organic guru, Lynnette Marie, coming into you with some information that my off-grid preppers and my rainbow warriors and all kinds of other people have been waiting for because of the lifestyle that I live, that I chose to live. You all want to know how I reclaimed myself, reclaimed my life, took my life away from the powers that be of the United States of America, which is a corporation. They are not states. Well, they're states, they're whatever you want to call them, but they're corporations. We are not America. We are not whatever you think it is. It's all a facade. That is in another video to come to explain how all of that works. But yes, I live out of the system. Yes, it's been hard for me. It's been obstacles. There have been all kinds of different catastrophes. A little bit of run-ins with the powers that be and finding myself in places that I did not want to be. However, that's been over a period of 8 years. Myself and a group of individuals that I get my information from and I get my expertise from, which I'm not an expert in this at all. I just know how to do it. I do have the experts available for you. We have done all of the hard work for you. What I'm about to tell you are things that you can use to get your own self, reclaim your life, reclaim the blood back that the government took away from you. As you know, everybody thinks that China owns us. That's the old saying, China owns us, but there's a lot of truth to that because they do. We were sold as commodities at birth, which is our straw man, and everybody says we have a straw man. You've heard that saying. That's because we were not living beings anymore. We're commodities, we're numbers, we're nothing but a meat market. That is it. But if you know the system and you know the ends, you can get out of the meat market, you can get out of the rat race, you can get out of the system and be tax-free. Yes, you heard me right. That's exactly what you can do. You can also exercise your right to travel. Now, a lot of you, I think that you already do that, but some of you do that, but you only have 1 foot on dry land. The rest of your body is sinking really fast because you are trying to fight with the powers that be, and you're still in their system. It's not going to work. Give it up. Do not fight the powers that be. As long as you have a driver's license, as long as you have a voter's registration, as long as you have anything that the government has issued you, give it up about trying to fight them. It's not going to work unless you do what I have done. And we have, not me, not we, the people that I work with have perfected the ways to make it not so hard for you anymore. You won't be doing the jailhouse rock. You won't be doing all of this crazy stuff like we've all done over the past 8 years to make things easier for you to get out of the system and take power over your body again. A lot of you are wondering, and a lot of you have been seeing Jonathan and I in my videos over the past few weeks, and we are in Fiji, yes, in lovely Fiji. Love it, love it, love it. We are striving to get our residency over here. Yes, we are. Did I leave the country because of the trumpet puppet? No, that had absolutely nothing to do with it. And at Barack Obama, anybody, none of the presidents had anything to do with us leaving the country. Absolutely not. Love Fiji, fell in love with the people. It's absolutely amazing. Been working on this for a while. But it had everything to do with the government. The government and their corrupt system really put the icing on the cake. Everything. And I'm about to tell you what happened at the airport. But before I do that, this is what I use to exercise my right to travel. And did you know you can do this if you don't even have this, but you have to be out of their system in order to utilize it appropriately and correctly. But this is an American National ID card. That is what one looks like. And it has diplomatic status on the back. So this is one of the first things that you are going to obtain. However, the first thing you are going to do is get out of the voting system. Why play the voting game anyway? It's smoke and mirrors. I mean, okay, we're all mad because so-and-so won. We're all mad because so-and-so won. This master won and this master won. Who cares? Who cares? I guess we should care about America, but it's so far gone. It's like, what is it going to take to restore America? Well, we have the answers of what it's going to take. So that is my American National ID. Get out of the system, and then it's going to be a little bit of a process, but you're going to get your authenticated birth certificate, which looks like so. It's a 3-page birth certificate in which John Kerry signs And if you read this very carefully, you'll notice, to all to whom these presents shall come, greetings. There's a lot of powerful meaning behind that one little sentence. And so on top of there, you'll see the signature. And then on the back, it's just, again, just official documents from the state of Arkansas, because that's where I was born. And then the last page is your actual living birth certificate. You have to be very specific whenever you get a copy, a certified copy of your birth certificate. You want to make sure you request your live living birth certificate. And a lot of states are going to be like, well, this is your birth certificate. You have to keep going. It took me 6 phone calls to get to the right authoritative person to give me my living birth certificate. And we'll explain that. This is a whole process. I'm not going to go over exactly all the details of how you get this, but I do have the connections and everybody to let you know how you get this. Is there anybody on here with questions, babe?
Gina and Nancy are
Okay, hey Gina, hey Nancy. So these are the documents that you'll get first. So I'll explain to you a little bit about what happened, and then I'll backtrack and tell you how we can help you to do this, because I have access at my fingertips to help you get out of the system, help you take control. I've been, thanks for dropping the phone.
Sorry.
I've been driving. Actually, I don't drive. I transport myself by plane, train, bicycle, foot, or automobile. However I choose to transport myself is my business, because we have the right to travel, and that's exactly what I do. I have been renting Enterprise rental cars. I have been renting on this ID for the past 4 years, and yes, it works marvelously, and it is accepted at all airports. With these 2 documents right here, I have been flying all over the U.S. and to Mexico with these documents in my hand. I have not had a passport. I have not had a governmental driver's license. Yes, have I gotten a lot of slack at the airport? Absolutely. I've missed flights. I've missed all kinds of things. Only twice, though. Because once I call and ask them to ask for the president of the airport to come down, or the manager, guess what? I am escorted to my plane. I'm getting a free plane ride, which is not really free because I already paid for them anyway. But the point is, not everybody recognizes these. The little people behind the counter, they're not going to recognize this, and they're just going to laugh at you and make fun of you. But whenever you exercise your right and call the authorities, they know exactly what this is. So I have been traveling for a long time with these 2 identifications. And these are this is very easy to get. This is easy to get. It's just a process. But what I encountered, there's a lot of things that put the icing on the cake. But what I encountered, Jonathan and I, Jonathan has his passport. He's in the system, but we are working on getting him out of the system as we speak. But he'd already had his passport. I used to have a passport years ago, but it expired in 2014. And I refused to get another passport because that would put me back in the system. However, American nationals are allowed to contract with the government. We can make a contract to say that, okay, we want to do this. Like if you want a CDL license to transport children on a school bus, or to transport goods or something like that, that's a totally different contract than a driver's license, okay? So there are different things that we can teach you. Actually, I'm not going to teach you. I'm just giving this information, and there are the other people that will teach you exactly how to do this, or they'll take your paperwork and do it for you, whichever you prefer. So what happened to me at the airport, I was perfectly fine. I'd already called Fiji, told them my IDs, told them what I had. Everything was working out marvelously. But because of the fake shooting that happened in Fort Lauderdale, our planes got rerouted every which way but loose. Anyway, long story short, you all followed us on our journey, and it was the longest trip to Fiji or any place ever. It took us over 7 days to get here because of all the holdups and all of the delays. Thank you, Hong Kong, for not even letting me enter your airport just to change planes.
And taking
So,
our bag.
I'm sorry, what?
And keeping our bag.
And keeping my bag, exactly. So I had to do something they wouldn't let me enter without a passport. So I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So I'm like, you know what? It's not a big deal. They recognize me. The United Nations recognizes this. So I went to the passport office to present this to present my living birth certificate, and to present my insurance bond, which that'll be explained later. My insurance bond I have been using to travel on as my insurance because this is accepted, this is authorized, and this is legal, whatever you want to call legal. This is right by God, okay? But anyway, all cops actually acknowledge this, okay, as an insurance policy because it is our bond. That is money taken out at my birthright, okay? I've been using this bond also for all of our galas that we put on. You have to have $1 million insurance bond, bicycle tours, and different events that I do around the nation. I have to have $1 million insurance claims or insurance put out on these events. I use my $1 billion bond. In the event that anything should happen, they take this and they turn it in to the IRS. Why the IRS? You'll find out whenever you become an American national. The IRS holds the key to a lot of things, okay? So that I presented that to show them and to show Fiji that I do have insurance when I enter their country, right? Because unlike America, everybody wants, all the other countries want to make sure that you're going to take care of yourself and be insured or have the money to live over here before you enter their country. Gee, imagine that. How cool is that? Wow. Problem solved. We don't have to pay for anybody that's over here with a handout, okay? Or asking for a handout. So anyway, that was one of the things that I presented to the passport agency. These two, my insurance bond. Of course, they laughed at me and said, what is this? What, we can't take this. You have to have a driver's license. Ma'am, I didn't drive here. I flew here, and I flew here just fine with these on it. Well, if you don't have a driver's license, how do you drive? I did not drive here, but you know what? I get behind the wheel just like you do. I sit on the seat, and I get my steering wheel, and I just drive like this. I don't need a driver's license to tell me that I can get behind a wheel and know how to drive, right? So anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, that's exactly what they wanted. No, I don't have this. Okay, I have all of these other, I had 10 other documents of identification, which is from the IRS. It's very important. IRS holds a big key to what we're doing because they know about the UCC codes. More about that later on. You will find out about this from the people that I work with. The UCC code. Now that was the icing on the cake whenever I presented that. I also showed them my 98 number. This is just like a tax identification number. Looks just like it. But if any of you know anything about the IRS and different numbers that you have, it is extremely hard. Well, actually, it's nearly impossible to get a 98 number. Have that 98 put before the rest of those numbers because that sets you aside from the rest of the public in America, which is for the elites, okay? That can be explained later on. But that 98 number is very vital, and it sets you up as a trust. Not a trust fund that you all are thinking about, a totally different trust. It's a trust that you set up because they owe you money. You know, the big $1 trillion question, who do we owe? Who are we in debt to? Pluto, Mars, Jupiter? No, they owe me, they owe you, they owe all of their American citizens, the American nationals that were born in America. That's who we are in debt to, us. Yeah, they want you to think that it's everybody else. You know, go figure, they just print money. Make more money is all I'm saying. We have all the money that we need by our God-given rights and all the gold and diamonds that we have and that we stole from Africa. That's another story. But anyway, 98 number, unless you have $350,000, $500,000, you're not going to get this number. Wasn't going to happen. But with our group, we can show you how to get it without near that expense. Not even $100,000, not even $50,000, not even $25,000. I couldn't charge you that much money because we did all this freaking work for you. But anyway, that we are not doing because we want everybody to be free and clear of this corrupt system over there. And so we are going to give you the keys to do so. So anyway, they looked at that and they weren't accepting it. And then I showed them my 47 number, which is another estate trust that we set up with the IRS, okay? And that's just another icing on the cake. So you have your 98 number, you have your 47 number, you have your UCC codes, which you fill out forms every time you go and do something or buy something. And that will be explained whenever I give you the people that hold this key. So, I was hitting dead ends. That's what took us so long to get over here. Everywhere I turned, they were not giving me a passport. No way. And I said, you know what? Just pull up my old freaking passport. You know who I am. Everything is extremely verifiable with all the documents that I have. How the heck did the IRS give me all of this that I have? You know better. So pull up my old passport. And I threatened to sue them. I called complaints, and I did. I called the United Nations. I called people that I knew that I could call. And I told them exactly who I was calling. I named everybody at that passport office in Los Angeles, California. I got their names and I said, I'm suing you, you, and you. And oh yes I am. I am suing them for discrimination. Big time lawsuit discrimination. And I'm taking every one of them down. It may take me a couple of years because I'm too busy living the happy life, but that is in the works. So I threatened that and they kept saying no. And I finally got a phone call after I showed them my old passport. Well, they pulled it up. I didn't have it in my possession. It was gone. And so they actually pulled it up. Well, if that's not proof enough to know who I am, what the heck is? And I was like, oh shoot, I don't want to get a passport in my name because that's putting me back in the system. Well, it just so happened that my old passport was in my old married name. So therefore, I got a brand new passport. I only needed this just for Hong Kong. Believe me, if I didn't need to get to Fiji, I would never have done this because we have a world port now that just went in effect January 3rd. Before it happened after the fact that I'd already, booked and planned over here. But we have a world port that we can send you to that site. We have to go through us and then we'll send you to that site because you have everything in order to get this world port that is actually accepted everywhere. And it's through Washington, D.C. Get that? Through the same people. Almost the same people that issued this passport. So anyway, it's in my old married name under paid. Therefore, all I have to do is get rid of this passport, toss it away, I resend it to the government and say, I don't even know who that person is because that is not my name anymore. I simply made a contract with the government, just saying I need a contract to do this kind of work over in Fiji, and that's all I'm doing. So this will be done away with. Okay? And again, I'm not the one to explain every single thing to you. I'm just bringing you information so that you can inbox me. I will set you up with the right people to help you get on your way to freedom and just total liberty. And this is the way that we are going to take America back. Right now, I'm over here living the Fiji lifestyle, and I'm very, very happy. But I do want to see America get completely turned around. And the only way we're going to do this is, number one, vote with your dollar while you still have it. That is the most powerful vote that you can ever do. Putting that pen to the paper and just writing it really, really hard, not really going to do much of a difference. But if you vote with your dollar and you spend your money away from the powers that be, such as supporting local and organic farms, supporting local businesses, and only buying things that do not support all the other countries, what are we doing that for? And if you take away from them, they're going to stop making it, right? So stop shopping with the faux food industry. Stop shopping with the toxic clothing products industry and spend your money where it's going to hit them in the pocketbook. When you go to that grocery store, go to the health food aisle. And that is what is going to knock them out of business. It's a corporation. Just remember, America, as you know it, is a corporation. It has its own tax identification number, okay? So remember that. Hard pill to swallow. So, whenever I went into that passport office and they turned me down. So even after they found my old passport, then I call up there because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. They put me on hold, and I got an emergency passport. I filed for that because you can get them in a day. You can get them just like that. And they said, no. And finally, I thought there was hope because of this, and then my UCC code, and I did all those phone call complaints. And so I called the lady, Michelle, and she said, you know what, I know they gave you my number to call me, but I'll call you because it's going to be a while before you get it. I'm like, it can't be a while. I've been over here 7 days, have to go to Fiji, blah, blah, blah. She didn't care. She was being they were all very rude to me, very, very condescending, as you know they are. And she told me that, you know what, I will call you. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, that means you're going to be getting a letter from Washington in the next 30 days, which would mean I'm denied of a passport. Because they did keep coming in and they kept putting me on hold. They said, don't issue her a passport, it's on hold. And that kept coming back. That really did happen. And so they knew that they were not going to issue me a passport. And that's when I started making all those phone calls. And I'm like, the heck, I won't get out of this country. I will get out of this country. And so while I was there, it was so crazy. Oh my goodness. So I'm sitting there. And I see and the whole place was filled up with Chinese people. Don't get me wrong, I love all races. They're awesome, they're amazing. I love you all, you're awesome. I have Muslim friends, and I love you all. I have Indian friends, I do have Chinese friends. I have friends from all races. I love you all. So before you get that in your head that I'm being a racist, I'm not. I'm being me. So all of these Chinese people were in there. with all of their newborn babies. And I knew there was something to it, but I didn't really know what the whole deal was until this gentleman came in and explained to us what was going on. Well, it's so illegal that it's not even funny. I mean, there was family after family. And mind you, how many days we go over there? 3 days in a row to the passport office.
Yep.
Every single day.
It was always
brand
full.
New, it was full. In LA, you know how full that is. Not in these little towns, but I'm talking about LA. Full, packed
Population.
of Chinese people. I'm the only person of my race there, okay? And I'm like, what in the world is going on? Why do these people need passports to get out? How did you get over here? Okay, so they're getting these passports for their babies, and basically, I don't really remember every single thing, but basically what they're doing is they're coming over here to make all our money. They're sending their babies back to China to coming over here to get education and make our money, and they're going over there to set up their homes. So they're sending their babies, they're just throwing them over the fence, literally. They're over here having babies. All the babies were the same age, mind you. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I was looking all around. That's exactly what was going on. They're issuing these foreigners illegal passports to get out of America that they're not even going out of America. They're getting their babies so that they can come over here and have babies. They can have dual citizenship, right? And so that was the whole point of it. So they can have dual citizenship and take everything away from us, take our money and send it over there. And it's just a whole facade. It was so crazy. And I'm just like, I'll be damned. I'm sitting over here. I've done everything. I've supported this country with my money because where else am I going to spend it, right? I've done everything. I was born here. I was raised here, everything. And I'm being treated like a terrorist. I'm being treated like a stupid imbecile that doesn't know anything. I'm being treated the most horrible way that you can imagine. But yet anybody else can come in. And then my last resort was, okay, why don't I just get an ID? Because one of the nice officers over there, he was actually very nice to us, and he told us the different ins and outs. And he said, well, in the state of California, you can actually go get an ID, even if you don't live here. You just have certain documents. You don't have to have a driver's license. Oh, okay, let me go and try that. So I'm calling, and it was a long hold. So while I'm looking at their website, guess what happens? Just this year, actually it was in 2016, it was in May of 2016, that they actually passed a law in the state of California that enables, and it literally says this, look it up. It says that due to law such and such, illegal immigrants can come over here and get either a driver's license or a state ID. And they don't have anything to prove who they are, where they live, or anything other than they all live in this one house together. Now, how do you like those apples? So I can't get what I want from my own government, but illegals can come over here and they don't have to prove a dang thing, and they get a driver's license and or an ID card. Now, if you like those apples and you like living over there, then I say go roll in your own vomit. So you just have fun with that, because that is why we are out. I am not rolling in your vomit for you. I can tell you that right now, because I take my sins. And if you know me, yes, I'm known as the Organic Guru, happy, joyful, awesome, and I am. I'm truly happy. I'm happy for me because I'm out of the system. Do I get angry? Hell yeah, I get angry. Absolutely, because everything is so corrupt. And as you know, I am the founder and creator of the Pure Integrity Verified Seal of Approval. I don't have the paperwork here with me, I apologize. But anyway, if any of you know me, my awesome Rainbow Warriors, Gina Simpkins, Rachel, Rudy Two Moon, Yas, all of you know exactly what this is for. We are above and beyond organic. And so I am doing my part to help you all over there. So in the organic world, we are keeping that world clean as well with the Pure Integrity Verified Seal. And so we need your help on that. I'll have that in another video. In the meantime, go to pureintegrityverified.org and you'll find all the details that you need on there. And thanks to my amazing Rainbow Warriors and Freedom Fighters, Gina and Rudy, they give the most amazing information. If you're not friends with these two people, Rudy Two Moon and Gina Simpkins, Gena, go over there and find them. I get a wealth of information from them because they are constantly researching. Of course, I'm researching, but my expertise is in the food industry, so I'm making sure that all the companies are clean and pure and toxic-free, and they're doing what they say they're really going to do, and that's what the Pure Integrity Seal does. We qualify farmers, farmlands, clothing products. Yes, I'm wearing organic cotton clothing that is actually made here in Fiji, so I'm supporting the local. When in Rome, do as the Rome, absolutely. So I'm supporting the Fiji lifestyle with organic and sustainable clothing, right? So anyway, that's what the Pure Integrity Seal does, and I just want to I cannot give enough thank yous to you, Gina and Rudy, because you all bring so much information to the table, and you are spot on. You have uncovered well, not all, of course, you're still uncovering a lot of things. You have brought to truth a lot of myths that are out there going on in the world, all these fake marches, all of these crazy things. Just thank you. I cannot thank you enough, Gina and Rudy. You two are totally awesome. You're true warriors. You're true to everything that we stand for and that you stand for. So if you're not friends with these two, please go over there and you will get yourself a wealth of information, and you will really come to understand why we do what we do, why I do what I do. So back to the passport. So I got on a little rant there, but I just want to tell you who I am and what I do and how I am still helping. Even though I'm living in Fiji, we still have the Pure Integrity still alive and thriving, and we have many more companies that are coming on board. We have 50 companies that were getting qualified in the year 2017. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss out on that. We are helping the entire world with that seal, okay? Okay, so back to my getting my passport. But it turned out to be really good because we got to visit California, got to stay with our friends Steph and Josh, and got to create our new programs that we've been working on. So that was a yay. Got to see our good friend Donovan Green, hang out with him. Got to see awesome Howard Hoffman with fresh products. So it was not a lose, and we were not we were not sad. It was totally awesome. So we got to explore all kinds of things while we were waiting my passport, right? So as I'm getting mad, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling Ki Moon's office, which is over the United Nations. I'm calling the White House. I'm sending complaints, emails everywhere. Then we did a big prayer session, a meditation session. And I'm just like, okay, let's go to Plan Z, because obviously I'm going to have to veto Hong Kong. We're going to have to buy brand new tickets and just go straight to Fiji, babe. That's all we can do, because Hong Kong, that's my holdup. And so the next morning, while we're doing a live video, that's what kept on coming on, or I had to keep on turning it off about 5 days ago. We get a phone call from the passport office saying, well, is this Lynnette? Totally different attitude. Same lady, mind you. Same lady. Her name was Michelle. And she said, was this Lynnette? I said, yes. And she called me. I didn't even have to call her. And she said, oh, I just wanted to let you know that your passport is ready. We got it in and approved, and you are good to go. Now, you can either come and pick it up today or tomorrow, or if you don't need to pick it up today or tomorrow, we'll hold it for 30 days for you. So just come up here anytime you want to. Geez, what a change of events. Yes, it had a lot to do with prayer and meditation, but it had a lot to do with this final stamp of approval, the UCC code that they wouldn't take before. And I insisted on this last guy the third day. I said, you have to take this. I said, I don't care if they keep turning it down, because I know that the powers that be will not turn this UCC code down, because they already turned me down. Remember, keep in mind, they already turned me down after they found my old passport. They still would not give me a passport, because that was just null and void. And even if you're in the system, just to give you a little tidbit, even if you're still in the system and you are renewing your passport, don't think it's going to be that easy. Your old passport means nothing anymore, because they have new numbers or new something, because you have to show other things. Just because you had one passport doesn't automatically mean that you're going to get a new one. But if you're in the system, chances are you will. However, they make it extremely hard for you to even renew your passport now. And I was seeing people, we met a couple of people, they had to keep coming back because their passport expired. So that's how crazy it was. So the UCC code with our American nationals is actually what put the icing on the cake. Then, as I'm en route, as we're waiting at the airports, I get a phone call from the people that I get my information from, right? And this lady, her name is Maria, she lives in Washington State. She is totally awesome. She is the one that is behind everything that I'm talking about. She is the one that will help you do what you need to do to get completely out of the system and do what needs to be done. She will show you every step of the way with her assistance and everything. Well, she just got her legitimate, bona fide, legalized constitutional judge. She is now a constitutional judge, not an attorney, not a legal aid, but an actual judge. And guess what? All those lawsuits that I told you about, jackpot, big time jackpot. And just so you know, anybody that's been in any trouble with the police, if you're an American national, now if you're not an American national, this will not work for you. But if you've been in trouble, if you've been in jail because of your exercising your right to travel or anything like that, you have lawsuits. Absolutely. If you are working on saving your home from foreclosures, you have lawsuits, big time. And they just, and you can look all this up. We will give you all the information, but literally the entire corrupt corporation passed the laws as of January 3rd. And Maria had been working on getting her constitutional judge authentication. That in the constitutional courts, over there in the Supreme Court, which overrides anything, you take your cases and you yank them out as fast as you can, and you take them to Maria. It doesn't matter where you live in America, and you can get many things overturned. They are working on state by state, but it doesn't matter where you live at this point. You tell her where you live, and that's it. Whoever comes to her first, that's the next state that they will be working on, because they are doing it state by state to get everything in their hands where it should be. But literally, the United States federal court systems made a law and overturned everything, that if you have these bogus court cases in all of these lower penny courts that mean nothing, and you know that you are right, and you know that you need to be heard, you hand your cases over to Maria, and she is going to take it straight to the Supreme Court, straight to the Constitutional Court, in which she will be the constitutional judge. So, that is my story for today, my story of a lifetime. There's always something going on with me, as you all know. I just wanted to share that information with you because I want you all to contact me. Can't put too much information out there. Well, I can, but you all know me and information. Every time it goes out, I seem to find myself in a whole heap of trouble somewhere, and I really don't want to do that anymore, so I'm tired of playing in their ball court. I'm not doing it anymore. So if you want to know how you can get out of the system, how you can take control of your life, your children's life, your entire family's life, send me an inbox. Let me know what you would like to do, and I will send you directly to Maria. I'm not the third person. There are no fees to pay me, although I need to be charging you all a lot of fees because we did all the work and we have been doing the jailhouse rock and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to let you know you will pay Maria, okay? And it will be pennies on the dollar as to what it was before. So if any of you are serious, this is not for the lighthearted. If any of you have a backbone and you want to get out of the system, then do it now. Because again, even though we've made things 1,000 times easier than it was for me, like we have 6 pieces of paper now, as opposed to 1,500 pieces of paper. One of those package mailings cost us $350 just to mail one package. So there you go. Maria has found a way to go around that. So everything is working in the American national's favor. And I would just want to let you all know, do not get us confused with sovereign citizens. We are not sovereign citizens. I don't know what that is. I don't want to be a part of that. I know that they corrupt everything. Like I said, they have one foot in the on dry land, and the rest of their bodies are sinking in the water because they don't do it right, and they want to be belligerent and chest beaters. They just want to go out there looking for a fight. So we are not sovereign citizens. No, we are American nationals who reclaimed our own rights back. We claimed our birthright back. We took it back from the government. We don't owe the government. The government doesn't owe us. Well, they owe us a lot of money. I'm talking about taxes. We don't do the tax game. I don't take any money from the government. I don't pay any money to the government. And as far as our pure integrity seal, we're a ministry. I'm set up as a ministry, and that's how you need to be set up too. Anybody can do this. My Fuel for the Body organization is a ministry. I have 10 businesses. And on top of that, I'm under the umbrella of a corporation soul. So before any of you get your feelings hurt or all butt hurt wondering how the heck I did this, because I have a lot of people getting mad at me because I don't do what they do in the tax world. Well, you know what? I'm not really concerned about that. If you want to continue paying your taxes, pay the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Bloombergs, whoever you want to pay. Pay them. Be happy, be merry. That's your own choice. Go in your own vomit is what I have to say. So, if you all want to know how to take control of your life, come to me, ask me. I will send you over to Maria. I'm not going to spend energy on you. I'm just going to give you, but let me tell you, you better have a backbone. You better know your rights. Get yourself a copy, a pocketbook of a Constitution. Know your rights so that you can exercise those rights, because what is the saying? If you don't know your rights, you don't have any, period. And if you know your rights, you have all the rights in the world. And it is very simple. You just have to know what to say and where to go and what to look out for. So for all of my rainbow warriors, I love you. For all of my freedom fighters, all of my off-grid preppers, you are totally amazing. This is some exciting information that we got in, and this is a way that you can get yourself and your family to freedom. And you can come over here and live the happy life. You can travel wherever you want to in the world with the new world ports that we have that is recognized everywhere in all of the countries. Except Hong Kong, I don't know what's wrong with them, but anyway, they have our luggage too, so there you go. So that is the information that I have. I know you're thinking I didn't give you all the information because I don't have all the information. I have the key to get you to the person that will get you out of the system for pennies on a dollar. And that's just charging you for the mailings that you're going to mail out and a little bit of work that she does. So therefore, inbox me and I'll let you know how that is done and how you can take control of your life and be your own person and be free and happy. So from me to you, live the happy life. Always live happy, be pure, because you're awesome. You're amazing, you're beautiful, and you are loved. I love you, Jonathan loves you, and God loves you. Remember that. Exercise your God-given rights and you'll be okay. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Bye.